He says, clearing his voice. I don't know if you heard that, but I'm going to do it again. Because, you know, it's time to get match fit and ready to go. It is 3 minutes to 6, and I feel robbed. Yes, we've had an hour taken from us, as the Americans are fully aware, because they had theirs taken 2 weeks ago. But we're now back up to synchronicity. So 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. We are back with another Talking Con. A couple of people joining us already on the viewings. Hello there. That means you have yourself your notifications turned on. As always, please do turn on your notifications. Head down if you're watching on YouTube. Go to the bell, hit the notifications, turn notifications on. It lets you know we are live or when we are live with our shows. We are usually live on a Sunday, but of course we do throw in every once in a while a wild card, an incidental episode. So please do hit the notifications because it helps us out, spreads the word. And of course, you know, it allows you to watch along live and get your comments in. And you can watch along with our live stream of Talking Con. We are going to be inviting Dan Berry, who is the Convention Collective senior editor and roving reporter. He's going to be joining us from Anaheim. I'm hoping that the weather's kind of turned, because I know that I've seen pictures of yesterday and California in not traditional rainy season, or certainly yesterday anyway, but no, a lot of people showing up, and we'll be talking about WonderCon, of course. Jump in with the comments, anything that you want to talk about today. Let us know where you're watching from, of course. Yeah, so do jump in with that. Have you been attending WonderCon? Are you at WonderCon? That'd be great. If you can kind of like jump in with that and let us know where you're watching from. Or indeed, if you've been to any other con this weekend. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you've been up to, or indeed, have you just been having a nicely chilled out Easter weekend? Certainly here in the oh dear. So yes, do let us know what's going on. I think I had a bit of a glitch there. I think it's every time I hit anything else relating to the internet. As you may know, we have been broadcasting in the past to Instagram. Not this week, because every time I hit the internet for anything other than the live stream, things go slightly skew with, and well, you know, that's the internet for you. I really should perhaps do other internet stuff on my tablet, which is right next to me. But hey, you live and learn. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock, it's top of the hour. Let's crack on, and we dive into another Talking Con. Right then, hello there. I think that's a slightly wrong layout for the graphic, but there we go. There's the graphic, and there's me. Hello, welcome along to Talking Con. A cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. My name's Leonard Sultana, and each and every Sunday we talk comics, Comic-Cons, and all the stuff and nonsense we get to enjoy at such shows. I have my cup of tea in my San Diego Comic-Con International mug, which I was presented by David Glanzer, and we went out for a bit of a meal, which was fun. But so we're going to be talking about freebies, or we're going to be talking about giveaways and things that you can get at cons relatively soon. because you never know, it might be something that we can get into. What has been your favorite freebie that you have gotten yourself, swag-wise, at a convention? It doesn't have to be San Diego Comic-Con, could be any other convention. But yeah, what's been your favorite freebie? I mean, we're going to get into that. We are hopefully going to be having a live report from Dan Berry. Hopefully he recognizes that we are now back up to speed. We're synced with our timetables, because last night at 1 o'clock, our clocks shifted forward for British summertime. So we are now 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT, all synced together. Yes, this weekend is WonderCon in Anaheim, an unseasonably rainy event, or certainly was yesterday. Hopefully today is a little bit brighter and a little bit drier for everybody who is in Anaheim at the moment. But it's a bit overcast here in the UK, so it might be a little bit grey through the window, but hopefully you can see us and you can join in with the conversation. Yes, so there's a couple of headlines that we can talk about, things that have come out of Anaheim. We've got ourselves, yeah, okay, this is relating, of course, to our swag conversation. Hello all. I'm drinking cider from a pint glass I pinched from the Hotel Indigo 10 years ago. Shh, don't tell anyone. I've got myself a couple of Bubs pint glasses, which I did my half inching on. So that was entertaining to get the chance to do, to steal me a bit of a souvenir from Bubs. Yeah, I've got myself a fair share of bits and pieces. I think I've got a Hard Rock pint glass somewhere. Yes, there's there's things that you can pick up. I mean, for example, in a roundabout way, while we're waiting for Dan to come and join us, I kind of like went a little bit down a rabbit hole this week because I decided to treat myself. It's pay week, or it's pay week here in the UK. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to treat myself. Yes, I have right next to me in my little desk area here, I've got myself the diorama from Lego Star Wars. As you can see there, got the TIE fighters scootling after Luke in his X-wing down the trench run from the Death Star from A New Hope. But I decided to treat myself, considering I've seen a fair amount of reviews for it. The new MIDI size, same kind of like scale as the trench run, and as part of the starships thing. Yeah, I mean, Chuck, here comes the freakish Lego minifig. He knows what he knows exactly what's coming. But yes, I got myself a Millennium Falcon. Not the Millennium Falcon that I would have liked, obviously the big boy, the UCS. But I got myself a Millennium Falcon, and it turned into a delightful little bonding moment for myself and Caroline, because we built it together. And I'll tell you something, it's really, really cool. I mean, I could have got it there in that camera there. It's really nice, nicely detailed. It's very cleverly put together. A whole clips together, and it all just it just looks really, really cute, and it's just nicely designed. It's one of those kind of designs which rams home just how clever the Lego engineers are, because they're just like, their brains work on a totally different level. But yeah, I posted about the Millennium Falcon online, and I said, you know what, this is something I'm particularly proud of, and it's a great thing. I wouldn't mind the UCS. At which point someone said, well, I quite like the Millennium Falcon. Well done. That was a nice, impressive build. Yes, if you want to connect, this was a Lego site on Threads and Instagram. At which point I said, well, tell you what, if you could tell me, I went to San Diego Comic-Con in 2018, and I got myself a freebie, one of the giveaways, as you can lock into the lotteries and get yourself a couple of freebies. I got two of these. I think myself got one and Caroline got another, and I think we swapped it for a Pop Funko. We were big into our Pop Funkos at the time. Alyssa Franks wanted to swap for, I think it was a Pop that I wanted, and I didn't have much of an emotional attachment to a Lego minifig. So this is one of the freebies I got, which is a Sheriff Deadpool Lego minifig, of which there are 5 pieces. It was an exclusive. I'm not entirely sure how the quantities were, because I'm guessing anybody who lined up for this particular fig at that particular date got one. Except I then tried to do a little bit of research into the interest in minifigs, especially for the hardcore dedicated Lego fandom out there, and realized just how much this thing is actually worth online to the fans. It's a lot, to the point where I could possibly swap this, and it is slightly dinked on the plastic. I could still probably, there you go, into the blue mister. There's big money in their minifigs. No kidding. I could in fact swap this thing for a full brand new UCS Millennium Falcon. That's how in demand they are. Very, 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 very strange, but there we go. You know what? Fair play. If there's a fan out there that is after a minifig, I'm tempted to do a bit of a swap and have a look around. But yeah, that was from the Marvel Superheroes Sheriff Deadpool Lego. And yeah, I'm tempted. However, I have been told by more rational voices, i.e. Caroline, you know what we could do with the money for, say, San Diego? So yeah, I think I'll keep my eyes and ears open for a possible sell for that and put it into the San Diego funds. So who knows? We've got Andrew English, who's at WonderCon. Hello from WonderCon. He's taking pictures at the moment of all the cosplayers out there, as is his wont, saying 1,100 pictures so far. Cool. Bring them in, keep them coming. As always, if we spot Andrew English's links, and he does usually share them on the Convention Collective and also an Englishman in San Diego Facebook pages, we'll take that link and we'll share it so people can see the sights and sounds of Anaheim happening this weekend. Yeah, Chuck, like I say, here comes a freakish Lego minifig. He knew it was coming, but there we go. Andrew Dickinson is also out in San Diego as well, so we've got the 2 Andrews kicking around. Greetings from a damp Anaheim. What's it like today? What's it like this morning? I mean, the image that I've seen is from the Orange County Register. The headline is "Rainy WonderCon Weather Doesn't Stop Crowds for Costume Fans from Anaheim Event." Let's go from that. Downpour on Saturday, March 30th had little to no effect on the fans gearing up for day 2 of WonderCon at the Anaheim Convention Center. And yes, you've got yourself a rather damp looking bunch there. But yes, let us know what the weather's like today. Is it a little bit brighter? Is it a little bit warmer? Hopefully the weather has kind of eased off and giving you a little bit of a respite from the rain. Let's have a look at this. Andrew Dixon, he says it's been quiet. Interesting. Would you be interested in coming on doing a live stream? Let us know, Andrew. I'll send you the link if you want to kind of do a very quick 2-3 minute video, kind of like review your thought of the weekend. Indeed, Andrew English, same drill. You'd think I was in UK with weather. Andrew, plural. If you want to jump on and do it, give us a very, you don't even have to be on camera. Just give us a rough idea of your thoughts of the weekend. It'd be great to have you. I have put the invite out to Dan Berry, but no word as of yet. So who knows where he's kicking about. So fingers crossed he's around, and we'll try and get him to join us. I mean, the idea was that he was going to give us a little bit of a review. Hopefully he was aware once again that the clocks have realigned and is kind of 10 a.m. Pacific. But yeah, let's see what happens if we can get Dan on the show. As it happens, we do have 1 or 2 headlines coming out of Anaheim. Oh, he's saying sure, but we'll see when if he shows his face in the invites. But no, Andrew, if you would like to come on, you're more than welcome to share your thoughts on Anaheim, certainly from an English perspective. A couple of headlines, a couple of things that have come out of Anaheim, which has been rather exciting. It's good to see that the film studios have been back, kind of sharing their bits and pieces. We've got IMDb here sharing a fandom wire piece here, with WonderCon turning into a massive event, sending fans into a frenzy after sharing some exclusive footage from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes following the sneak peek into the new trailer for the upcoming movie during the Super Bowl. WonderCon's exclusive trailer became the talk of the town, and also included an upcoming still as well. The film comes out on May 8th, and it's got very little in the way of any names attached to it when it comes to its stars and its voice cast. So it's very much about the story. This is a production which is all about the world of the Planet of the Apes. There's not so much in the way of flashy headliners. There's not even an Andy Serkis to kind of grab people's attention. It's all about the talent behind the apes. It's not about the technical anymore, because they proved they can do that. It's now about the story of the world. So that makes me excited about this thing. It's not being driven by external headlines. It's about the story itself, which, you know what, against something like Kong versus Godzilla, which is all about flash and spectacle and one or two big names in there to kind of get your attention. Yeah, it's rather interesting. We've got Dan Berry saying that I need to send the link. I'm hoping that this doesn't go horribly wrong, as I let me just get myself this link, and I'm going to send it to Dan Berry because I do want him to join us on today's show. No, but that was rather cool. So we had that headline from a bit of the film studios returning to San Diego, to Anaheim, sorry, and to Comic-Con and to CCI event, and of course giving us a little bit of a flashy spectacle. Of course, that is Fox bringing that particular film to the stages of Anaheim. We do have ourselves one or two toy things as well. And we'll stick with the pop culture stuff, because this one caught my attention. This is Famke Janssen and Jessica Roth, indeed a whole bunch of talent on the red carpet talking at WonderCon about Boy Kills World, and you've got yourself musetv.net if you want to head to that, with Manny Gomez talking to Famke Janssen and Jessica Roth. Again, this is not so much, yes, I am going to be talking about that very shortly indeed. Yes, we've got a whole bunch of talent which is appearing in this particular film, including the likes of Famke Janssen, like I say, Michelle Dockery, Jessica Roth, and Charlotte Copley. Hey. Produced by Sam Raimi, Roy Lee, and directed by Moret Moore. Starring also, is it Skarsgård? I believe it's I think it's Stellan Skarsgård. But anyway, yes, Skarsgård stars as Boy, who vows revenge after his family is murdered by Hilda van der Kooi, played by Janssen, the deranged matriarch of a corrupt post-apocalyptic dynasty that has left the boy orphaned, deaf and voiceless. Driven by his inner voice, one which he co-opted from his favorite childhood video game, Boy trains with a mysterious shaman to become an instrument of death, and is let loose on the eve of the annual culling of dissidents. Sounds like a cool idea. Really looking forward to finding out what these do with this particular film. There's a couple of interesting films that are due. This is one of them, Boy Kills World. Breathe, which I saw the trailer for this week. That also looks rather interesting. All these films coming out of nowhere, which is great, which is really exciting. So yes, Andrew English is saying, unfortunately, he can't join us, which is a shame. But he has said not a lot of TV or movie content, but he did get to meet his cousin Bruce, at which point everyone is jumping on the comments and saying, really? The Bruce Dickinson? Yes, the lead singer of Iron Maiden is there at WonderCon, hyping up his own efforts at the moment, which has turned into quite the showstopper. Bruce Dickinson at his first North American con is at Anaheim, so that's rather cool. Andrew Dickinson saying he did see the first episode of Discovery Co, though hasn't said anything else. So Andrew, jump in, give us a one comment spoiler-free review. What's your thoughts on the first episode of Discovery? Let us know. But yes, Bruce Dickinson is there. He's got Mandrake Project out. He's got the first, Andrew Dickinson saying, I've got the first two books signed. Really good panels as well. Andrew, yeah, I don't doubt it. Bruce Dickinson very much fires on all cylinders. He's a very intense man. He's very intelligent, very, very clever bloke. But there we go. We'll get into the other headlines as well. We'll dive into that, but we do have ourselves somebody who's joining us from Anaheim, and if I zoom like that, at least we can see him a little bit further afield. He's got his mic muted, so we are just seeing the sights and sounds.
There we go.
Don't forget, Anaheim is a black box. The fact that we're getting any pictures at all from inside is astounding. So, yeah, hello there, Dan. How the devil are you, sir?
Howdy, howdy. I'm good. How about you guys?
Not too bad. Like I say, it's a little bit grey here, but at least it's not as wet as it is for you. I mean, how's the weather been today?
So far, it's a little bit wet outside. Yeah, the crowd's starting to trickle into here.
Well, yeah, 10 o'clock. It's just getting started. Nice open footfall there, so you've got plenty of space to move around. So, but is it nicely warm and is it nicely cozy inside?
It is, yeah. So far, I mean, it's nice and warm. We all good, Tony? Good. Cool, thank you. I'll be back in a bit. Cool. Sorry, I was buying some stuff real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, listen, as always with your live reports, you do you, sir. Because you always manage to find the sights and sounds. I'm still reeling from the time that you went past Shelley Bond's table and just kind of like got Shelley Bond to say hi. You just wandered past some really cool places. So, yeah. So which hall are we in now? Where are we at?
WonderCon only has one hall, so it's everything on one floor. It's kind of like San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now I'm in the artist at the very beginning of the artist alley section.
Gotcha. And is it just artists or is it illustrators, toy manufacturers? What is it? A bit of a mixed bag? What's the layout?
Yeah, kind of like with San Diego, where it's a mixed bag, where they have the artist alley separate from everything else, and then they have all the merchandise and stuff further the other direction.
You appear to have wandered behind the CBCS booth there. Yes, were you allowed? Or did you just wander off and forget where you were walking?
I just dropped off. They let me put stuff behind the scenes when I don't. Makes it easy to carry around.
Hey, you see, this is what happens when you're a man in the know. Everyone sort of like accommodates you. That's fine by me. So yes, in terms of the artist talent, I mean, David Mack there. You've got yourself some big name. Tony Isabella, who's rocking up first thing. Excellent stuff. Good to see him there. Brian Bricello. Very good. What else have we got? Zach Kaplan. Yeah, you got yourself a fair old murderer's row of talent there. And of course, you're Comic Sketch Pro, which, by the way, hopefully we're going to be having someone from Comic Sketch Pro joining us on the show a little bit closer to San Diego Comic-Con to talk about the relationship between their organization and the artists and the con. So, yeah, that's rather cool. Hello there. And we've got Andrew Dickinson. How's he doing? He looks well. Excellent. Yeah. So yes, what's been the strengths of the Artist Alley so far for you?
Well, I picked up a sketch from colorist Steve Olive, who's been coloring for close to 50 years. Yeah, I'll have to show you that later. He did a Spawn sketch for me. Yeah.
Cool.
And then
I mean, the people I'm seeing behind the tables there, I mean, Steve Orlando, you've got workers, you've got people who actually just crack on. And I mean, there you go, Steve Olive, who I have sent, just let him know, I have sent him a friend request. I'd love to have him on. He has asked. And yes, I tell Steve, I'd love to have him on the show. Absolutely.
Okay, I will let him know. Yeah.
Right, it's looking like from the names I'm seeing, it's like, it's workers, it's those that put in consistently great work, week in, week out. Todd Nook, there you go, solid creatives. That seems to be, for me, the way that it's curated for WonderCon. It's very much about solid talent, those that have put in the effort, put in the miles, and really kind of make it a big draw for attendees. Does that jive with what you're thinking?
Let me walk down to the next row of the Artist Alley, because it's about 6 rows, and each row has about 50 people in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so around 300 or so total artists. Some people not quite here yet because it's still early on Easter Sunday.
Fair enough.
Yeah, plus the weather.
Well, yeah. So you've had the weather. It's Easter Sunday. It's a packed all weekend.
Yep.
So yeah, it's about who's kind of wanting to stay with family and stay home, or who wants to actually get out there and do the whole con experience. So yeah, this is definitely a show for the hardcore.
One more time.
It's a show for the hardcore. It's those that definitely want to do the con rather than stay at home.
Yes. And
So,
as packed it is, it's kind of surprising how packed it is so far this morning.
I'm just going to say it's looking particularly busy first thing, which is great.
Yeah. Probably everybody doing stuff now before all their Easter festivities later.
Good point. So you can imagine that people are going to tap out a bit early just to celebrate Easter and get into that. I can imagine.
Yep, that's what. Yeah, I know a few artists who aren't from this area are going to leave early so they can get their flights home.
Now you've been to a fair amount of cons of yourself. You know the con landscape. One thing I have noticed from chatter online is that there's a number of people, a whole bunch, that are getting first-time tables at WonderCon. Is that something you've noticed, that there's a kind of like fresh blood coming through, or is it just a case of people that have decided to tap out, opening up those tables and allowing that fresh blood to come in?
I think it's a combination of both, where I've seen a lot of people who I've seen before, but then I've seen people I've never seen the show before, like Engelhard, Steve Olaf. I've never seen them at cons before.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them got invited as special guests, so maybe that's why they're tabling.
Also, I've been seeing as well that I'm getting mixed reports. That one side of it is saying it's very slim when it comes to the film and TV side, but the film and TV stuff that has been presented has been really strong at this particular show. We've just talked about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We've got Boy Kills World as well. What has been the big what's been the big chatter in that regard?
In terms of, sorry, I was saying hi to somebody.
But like the pop culture stuff, the film and TV stuff.
I haven't really done much of the pop culture stuff here. Mostly the couple panels I did were artist related. Like I went to the one for Bruce Dickinson and Bill Sienkiewicz yesterday for their comment from Z2. Yeah. Yeah, and then after that, I got to interview Bruce.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get that up on the Convention Collective relatively soon. An interview with Bruce Dickinson. That'd be cool. I mean, it's like I was saying before you came on, very bright, very intelligent, very intense kind of guy. What was your take on him?
Yeah, very smart. I mean, very what's the word I'm looking for? Very knowledgeable. Yeah. I asked him one question and he goes into details about with his answer, like how it got started with the comic and what else he has planned, that kind of stuff. So it's about just under 11-minute interview.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. No, looking forward to hearing that. That should be cool. That should be cool. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. And then I also interviewed New York. I emailed you the one for Magma Comics, who their first title is debuting next week or this week. So I send you the interview that when I spoke to Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly, and Eamon Winkle.
Nice.
Yeah,
yes, I'm going to work on that interview. That will be up either later on tonight or first thing in the morning.
And then I also need to send you, also from Magma Comics, Steve Orlando talking about his new title.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did both their interviews. And we'll have reviews for those books coming soon.
I'll tell you something. When Dan goes to a con, he's a busy chap, isn't he?
Yeah.
He sees it. He gets about. That's cool. Other than that, I mean, for me, from what I've been reading, the strengths of WonderCon this time round has been the cosplay. Cosplay has been particularly strong, I've been told.
Much. Yeah.
The Artist Alley, like I say, great to see new talent coming through. And there's the other Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Andrew English. Hello there, sir.
Yeah, he says hi. Yeah.
Getting his photos taken. Is it, like I say, 1,100 photos so far? Busy boy.
Yeah. It's quieter than normal at WonderCons, but I'm still getting the pictures.
Is it quality and quantity, if not quality? Or other way around, sorry.
Well, I do take about 4 pictures per person, so That's about 300 still.
Can't say fairer than that.
Too late.
Can't say fairer than that. Excellent stuff. Hope you're enjoying it, mate.
All right. I'll see you next time.
Take care of that, man.
Andrew.
That's cool. So, like I say, cosplayers, the strength of Artist Alley, and also the panels. I've been told the panel game's been really strong. Any panels that you've been to?
The only panel I've been to so far was just, like I said, the one for Sid Kevich and Bruce. Yeah, I'll probably hit up the Bad Idea one, which starts at noon our time. So about
Really?
now. Yeah,
that's a publisher that seems to have kind of lost a little bit of steam. So I'm really curious to see what Bad Idea are bringing to the table and what they're wanting to do to keep going and keep that momentum going, especially considering Distillery came along and just steamrolled over everything. So I'd like to know what Bad Idea are doing to kind of stay relevant, stay in the game. So yeah, no, that'll be an interesting panel to hear your thoughts on when that happens. That's cool. So that's at 12. So that's what, an hour and a half?
Yeah, give or take.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. So you kind of mentioned briefly what bits have you picked up in terms of sketches, swag, what have you managed to get in the bag?
I got the sketch from Steve Olaf, who did a Spawn. I got Tony Fleeks, who did Stray Dogs and Pharaohs, working on a sketch for me. Trying to remember what else I got. And then just a lot of different signatures, like the Magna Comics guys signed their new title, which hasn't even hit the stores yet until next week.
Just out of curiosity, going back to that other corner, was that Beckett Press?
Right there? Yeah.
Oh, right. So CBCS. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was something else. So something else. Fair enough. Into the Blue Mister is asking, any Sienkiewicz news dropped at his panel, or was it more of a profile of his history and his bits and pieces?
I did not hit that panel because the panel I went to was just for talking about the Z2 book.
Right. Okay.
Patrick.
Hello there, sir. Yes, you can say hi to Patrick for me. It'd be good to hear him say hello. But there we go. No, yeah, but there you go. Into the Blue Mister. Unfortunately, no news, but I'm certain we'll see of any headlines that come out of WonderCon once the dust has settled.
Yeah, I think some of the bigger news was at the Gail Simone panel for her new X-Men book. Yeah.
Indeed, Gail Simone really did kind of announced a whole bunch of bits and pieces. Yeah, I mean, like I say, comics, there's been a fair amount. There was a hell of a panel with Gail Simone, Marv Wolfman, and Steve Englehart yesterday, which I've been reading about. And it's, yeah, indeed, a lot of people hearing about what they've got planned for X-Men coming up. So that's rather cool.
Yeah, how they announced that next year there'll be 18 issues of X-Men in a 12-month period. All from Gail.
Indeed.
Yeah. So
no, like I say, it was a hell of a panel to have lined up. So that's rather cool. But yeah, that was. I think you had Englehart, Cecil Castellucci as well, Marv Wolfman. You had talking about Gail Simone's run on Wonder Woman. So yeah, a lot of people really excited to see this incredible murderer's row of talent for grabs. So that was rather cool. Excellent. So yes, you've got yourself your Bad Idea panel. Any other things you're going to try and squeeze in on the last day of WonderCon?
Let me look at my schedule real quick. Let me pull it up. There it is. Oh yeah, probably also the David Mack panel.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, the spotlight panel on him. David Mack on writing, art, film, TV, and more.
Very cool. Well, I mean, David Mack is just one of the most personable guys. When I first kind of met him, I was very intimidated by by the talent of the guy. And then you get to talk to him, and he's just one of the nicest blokes. Yeah, so David, that should be a really cool, positive panel. So that would be rather cool. Excellent stuff. And again, it's a nicely open
Yes, very wide aisles.
Indeed.
Yes.
Lots of movement around.
Yep.
There you go. Excellent stuff. I'm just glancing around. You're glancing around. I'm glancing around. I'm just trying to catch the things out of the corner of my eye. Very much similar to what you're doing.
And then the whole gaming area.
All right. Okay. Anything new when it comes or surprising about the layout, or is it very much what we expect?
Same. Yeah, pretty much as it always is, with Artist Alley on one side and then all the merch vendors, and then on the back side, far side, all the comic book vendors.
Has DC and Marvel been missed?
I haven't really noticed. Yeah, I mean, they haven't had a presence here in a while, so yeah, they're not really missed too much.
Okay.
Yeah, IDW is probably the biggest publisher here, as usual.
You've got Into the Blue Mister saying, little shop of pins, which you've passed. They do lovely Rocketeer badges. So there you go. Something to go back for. If Rocketeer is something that appeals. There we go. No, but it looks like what we're talking half an hour into the start of a Sunday, and it's kicking along nicely. It's shaping up to nice indie there, little pocket indie cosplay, very nice.
Yeah, I know later today they're expecting thunderstorms, so people are probably trying to get here before all that.
Fair enough.
Yep. And then here we have the whole sci-fi world.
Oh wow, okay. That's not a bad little bridge reconstruction from Next Gen.
Yeah.
That banner could have done with a bit more pinning down, but okay. That's me being picky. Me being picky. There we go. Cool. But no, so this is day 3 for you.
Yep.
Not only the con itself, but also just kind of like catching up with friends, especially considering, like you say, Easter weekend. There's some that will probably want to tap out and go and see family instead. What has been your vibe of WonderCon? Have you enjoyed it? Is it something that's still reaching the bar, or what?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it as always. I get to see friends who I don't see that often, as well as meet new people like Engelhard and Olaf, who I've never met before. And I got them to sign a couple things.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, I think it was one of the Andrews. I think it was Andrew English. No, it wasn't. It was somebody else. Sorry, on the old chat, who turned around and said that Steve Olaf is very much up for coming on Talkin Con. So next time you're passing his table, just let him know that I have sent him a friend request. We'd love to have him on anytime. His discretion.
Cool. Yeah, I ran into him after the show at the Hilton Bar area.
BarCon, always a good idea.
Yep.
Excellent stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you get off and enjoy the rest of your show. Dan, have a great WonderCon. Looking forward to hearing and seeing the interviews that you've got lined up. It sounds like you got yourself a fantastic bunch of people that you've talked to. Looking forward to hearing the interviews.
Cool. Sounds good. Thank you, man.
Okay, man. Look after yourself. Have a good show, yeah?
You too. I'll talk to you later.
Take care. So there we go. That is WonderCon 2024. And yeah, it's that's not a bad signal for WonderCon, considering just how, like I say, it's a black box. It's a nightmare of a building to get any kind of signal out of. But no, very, very cool. Chuck Cook saying they spent all their budget on that bridge restoration. Indeed, it was a nice little wooden arch of the bridge there. Looked really, really cool. That was really, really excellent. That looked really good. Better than, like I say, the backdrop, but the actual seating looked fantastic. That was really, really cool. Andrew Dickinson, up to the con 2019, used the 70,000 seater arena. That has not returned. So it's very much a case of once you've had that COVID period, you haven't had the footfall to use the 7,000 seater arena. As fandom hopefully will return and develop, you never know. We may see that arena being used again. Into the Blue Mister, thank you for the coverage, Dan. Good work, fella. I will pass on your kind words. And indeed, Andrew Dickinson talking about that next gen bridge restoration. I think it's from the original, or I think it is the original from the Sci-Fi Museum. If that's the case, that's utterly rad. That's fantastic. No, that'd be rather cool to just confirm that and check that. That's rather cool. But there we go. Thank you very much indeed to Dan Berry. Like I say, all the interviews that he's going to be bringing us, we'll get them up on the Convention Collective and on SoundCloud and on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Keep your eyes on those. Subscribe to them. As soon as we get them dropped, we'll get them live as quickly as we possibly can. It hasn't just been about the pop culture stuff in terms of films and television and comics and all of the things like that. As always, we also have a look at some really cool toys that have been presented at WonderCon. Hasbro announcing a reissue of the Transformers and Ghostbusters Ectotron action figure. This was announced at WonderCon, including, well, this was a Transformers 40th anniversary fan stream, and it as part of WonderCon this year. You've got yourself the Ectotrons vehicle mode, which is a take on the General Motors licensed custom 1959 Cadillac Millimeter, representing the famed car Ecto-1. Switching to robot mode, the roof rack doubles as an unlicensed nuclear accelerator with the Autobots' overall design taking cues from the Ghostbusters uniforms, including identifiable name tag, jumpsuits, and Ecto goggles. Yeah, that looks like a particularly cool piece of kit if you are a Ghostbusters and indeed Transformers fan, announced by Hasbro at this weekend's WonderCon. Hasbro have got themselves a couple of headlines, especially when it comes to the whole fun and games around Ghostbusters and the excitement about that, what with the new film Frozen Empire currently doing the rounds. But you've got yourself the 3.75-inch Ghostbusters action figures, the original lineup of Spengler, Zedmore, and Stantz and Spengler, all lined up there and looking rather good, and with Peter Venkman's trademark hairline there, with this 3.75 action figures and compatible, like I say, retro style Ecto-1. But all of the accoutrements, like I say, this is all off the back of the excitement when it comes to the film Frozen Empire. But these, apparently, the builds are the same as Hasbro's previous Ghostbusters Afterlife Plasma series. So you've got yourself a slight new update when it comes to the unlicensed nuclear accelerators, and indeed updates to the Ecto-1, including the removal of the gunner seat from Afterlife, taking it back to the old school, as it were. But no, Hasbro have had themselves quite the show. A lot of news coming out of that particular stand. If you are at WonderCon, go check it out for the final day, because apparently they still have some stuff to announce this time around. So that's rather cool. What else have we got? Yes, one, I think, more piece of news coming out of WonderCon. Like I say, it's all stuff that's going to be kind of talked about over the course of the next week as the headlines come out of the show. But we do have news about next year's event taking part, WonderCon 2025, and it's not on the Easter weekend this year. Returning in 2025, Pop First is revealing that we have ourselves dates, which will be March 28th to the 30th, back in Anaheim, which is where it's been since 2016. And yeah, apparently that news came out of the unofficial blog. Shock, horror, surprise. So there we go. But yes, while the actual event itself has been particularly wet and rained out, and you've got the Easter weekend, it has been particularly busy, and people are already starting to plan for next year's show. The article from popverse.com or thepopverse.com saying this news comes as the LA area Comic-Con convention has begun to heat up, with the nearby Los Angeles Comic-Con posting just a few months back was the biggest con in the area. And while hard numbers from recent WonderCons haven't been made public, the last time it revealed numbers in 2016, it was half what LACC boasted for its 2023 event. That being said, this has been a particularly busy show, and it's nice to see that WonderCon is once again vying for that position as one of the premier conventions to head to for the West Coast. So that's cool. Thank you very much indeed to Dan for bringing us that update. Great to have that happening. We're also gearing up as well for San Diego Comic-Con. We've got ourselves a couple of things that have come out of that, including the news once again that votes can be taken and cast on the comic-con.org website if you are wanting to get your vote in for the Spirit of Industry Award, where you can vote for your favorite comic book shop. And it is a public vote. It's not voted by professionals. It's anybody with a vested interest in comics, and indeed those bricks and mortar purveyors of your four color miracles. Go and check out comic.com, comic-con.org. Search for Eisner's, and you'll find the information about how you can get your votes in. Apparently, that isn't finite. It's closing up relatively soon. So the sooner you get your entry in, the better. So then the judges can whittle it down and pull the best comic book shop and showcase it on the live show that will be taking place, the award ceremony that is held each and every year at San Diego Comic-Con on the Friday night. So that should be a rather fun event if you are heading, as always, to San Diego. I'm going to do my best to get into that room as usual, because I'm a big fan of the Eisner Award, so looking forward to that. An email that rattled out this week while CCI are on site for Anaheim's WonderCon. Like I say, they are planning for San Diego Comic-Con, July 25th, 28th, and indeed taking panel submissions. So people who have had panels in the past, or programs in the past, have started receiving these emails out so that panels can be submitted, and that is going to be happening, taking panel submissions through Monday, April the 29th. So 1 month to gather as many guests as you possibly can and get some panel ideas in. I've got myself a couple. I'll be submitting 4 panels this year, so fingers crossed you'll be seeing me behind a dais at San Diego this year. But yes, while the CCI offices are closed for April 1st to 7th, so the first week of April, 3 weeks for them to start plowing through all the panel submissions which are going to be heading in their direction. If you want to find out more about that, you can take panel submissions at CCI panel submissions at comic-con.org, and of course you can find out more and get yourself the email and all the accoutrements and all the listings and all the help and advice and the link to the actual panels if you contact programs at comic-con.org. So there we go. I am going to do the social of the week, and I am going to be doing comic of the week. So I'm going to be bringing you that in a second. But first things first, something I did want to talk about, because I turned around and said that there would be a topic of conversation that would be taking place at WonderCon with all the comics fans. But as I can imagine, with WonderCon, it's skewing a little bit towards the pop culture stuff and the illustrators. So maybe pure comics is a little bit thin in the demographic, but those that have been there have been talking about this week's debacle, disappointment. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. This is regarding Comics Kayfabe, and one of the hosts of that particular YouTube show. I've mentioned Cartoonist Kayfabe here on the show before, and it's co-hosted by Jim Rugg and the person who we're talking about, which is Ed Piscor. For myself, as somebody who is not necessarily reporting on this, but he just wants to put the comment out, because I always will go with the mantra of believe women. If someone is saying that they have been harassed, if they've been made to feel uncomfortable, if they've been made to feel put under pressure by somebody who feels that they have a modicum of power because of their publishing history. And yes, Ed Piscor is a noted publisher. Hip Hop Family Tree remains one of the most lauded graphic novels out there. But to then have that power in your hand and then communicate with somebody who is a lot younger and you could say a lot more vulnerable as well. Now, from what I can tell and from what I can gather from the general chatter, there are two scopes of interest. One, which is a very serious accusation of requesting of nudes, but that I have not seen any confirmation of. So I'm not going to dive into that because at the end of the day, that is pure speculation. What I have seen are the actual screenshots of him talking to and being, you could say, incredibly inappropriate with a very young illustrator and cartoonist who felt that Ed Piscor was being wildly inappropriate. While everything that he did and everything that I saw in the screenshots, he was not being. Nothing was illegal. Indeed, you could just you could read very much what I'm certain Ed Piscor will say is his defense, which is it was pure banter and that he was being just very free and loose with the way that he was talking to this young cartoonist. Sorry. At the end of the day, while what he was doing was not illegal, it was wildly inappropriate. And again, it was just down to somebody abusing their power and just not thinking through the things that he was saying and how that would affect somebody, how that would affect their confidence moving forward in the industry, how they felt that people would then marginalize them and be very dismissive of them. And it's just been very disappointing to see. When the accusations dropped at the very beginning of the week, you did have yourself cartoonist Fabe instantly taking all the comments on all of their videos and putting them on lock. And they have not uploaded a video since, I believe, Monday, which was literally just as the accusations started to go out. So that went radio silence. Piscor deleted his Instagram, deleted a number of his social media channels, and put a lot of his social media channels on complete lock. Now, Into the Blue Mister saying here, oh no, I like cartoonist Fabe to unsubscribe time, I think. Now, today, or very early this morning, Jim Rugg did post a photo, or maybe it was yesterday, stating that he feels that he has to have a very much a moral standpoint and a way that he can be upstanding in the community of illustrators. And in doing so, he felt that he had to step back and sever his professional ties with Ed Piscor. We've had no response from Ed Piscor at all, which is damning in itself. You could say that if he is going to be defending any of the statements that he's made, that he would come out and state that he is being misaligned or he's being misrepresented with his comments. A local journalist to his hometown and indeed to his parents, which I felt very, very strange about. Because Ed Piscor wasn't responding to any calls for comment, this particular local journalist went to Ed Piscor's parents' house. What, like Ed Piscor lives in the basement or something? I don't know, it's a bit weird. And Ed Piscor's father turned around and said that he is completely innocent and that he will be defending any accusation put forward to him. That felt very, very strange indeed. Into the Blue Mister, I like Cartoon Kayfabe too. I personally would say don't unsubscribe because Jim Rugg knows what he's doing. He knows enough people to continue with the project of Cartoonist Fabe. I don't think it's right to throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's a lot of resources and there are so many videos which the pair of them have done. I know it's going to be difficult to separate the artist from the work. But the analysis that the pair of them did on a whole range of topics, including Alan Moore, Frank Miller, they really have done deep dives and they are videos worth watching. Like I say, the things that Ed Piscor is being accused of are not illegal, but they are wildly inappropriate. Let's see how that story develops as we move forward. So there we go. That's my thoughts on it. And do follow along on my social medias. I'm going to try and keep a track on what's happening with that particular story. Okay, two more things to do. Each and every week, I pull myself a social media account of the week and also my comic of the week. Now, my comic of the week is going to be this. I do my best to try and stay away from the DC and the Marvel, the main two. Let's go a little bit off the beaten track, at which point I then pull from the the next biggest publisher out there, and it is Image Comics. However, this particular book, it is the last of the run. Jacob Phillips has already been posting online that he's going to be missing the characters of Newburn. This has been such a powerful noir thriller, and it's just been gut punch after gut punch each and every issue. It's number one, it's been really well written by Chip Zdarsky. For me, Chip is really hit and miss. I know there's a lot of people who are big fans of his, but for me, Chip Zdarsky is somebody who, if he is absolutely invested, if it's something that he absolutely feels a story he must tell, then it's compelling writing. If it's something that he's kind of doing for the paycheck and doing for the companies and doing as part of his contractual obligation, it's not as compelling. That's just for me. This, however, is definitely in the former camp. Newburn has been like I say, a real noir classic, and considering that Jacob Phillips comes from quite a lauded, fashionable through line for this, his father has done a number of noir comic graphic novel classics up to now. Jacob not only has stepped up to the plate to match that kind of legacy and reputation, and absolutely has knocked it out of the park with this particular book. The pair of them are on fire. When you get the chance, I'm certainly going to do a massive omnibus of this, collecting all 16 issues, or indeed, if you do decide to get the trades, do check it out, because what they have done with this book has been absolutely amazing. Now, I can't share too much in the way of screen captures because, well, I don't want to spoil it, but Jacob has just put so much heat and passion into this. He already proved himself with books such as This Texas Blood, but with this, he really is leaning into the noir vibe, and absolutely doing a cracking job of it. I'm not going to share too much because, like I say, there's actually a backup story in this as well. So a bit of the issue is taken up with this backup story. So it's a bit of a slight end to the whole thing, but it still ties up everything nicely, and it is just a great conclusion to this amazing epic. Check it out. Newburn 16 came out last Wednesday and is available in your comic book shops now. And last but not least, we have our social media account of the week. And this week, it's going to be Grant Perkins. Now, I do my best to kind of showcase accounts which have less than 1,500 followers. 423 as of this afternoon, which absolutely baffles me. Grant Perkins is one of the hardest working cartoonists and illustrators out there. Done a number of bits and pieces for Beano, done his own amazing Substack as well, a newsletter. Very, very talented and fun and free kind of illustrator, and a gregarious character by his own right. Grant is somebody, like I say, one of the hardest working men out there, in that there isn't a weekend where the man is heading to a convention. He's always trying to fill out every single date, and he's out every single weekend attending as many shows as he possibly can. So yeah, he's got his fans, he's got the people who go out and see him each and every week. Well worth checking out if you are at a UK con, because more than likely Grant Perkins will be at it. And he showcases some amazing work as well. Like I say, very fun, very loose, and it's got full of charm and character. Really loves his wrestling. So you'll often see a number of the wrestling characters and drawings up on not only his site, on his socials, but also at the cons as well. And he's also a big fan of your big pop culture, such as your Doctor Who. You got this Lilo and Stitch and Doctor Who mashup, which I absolutely thoroughly enjoy. That was available as something on his, I think, on his Etsy page, but that was showcased on his socials. And of course, what with X-Men 97 getting all the attention this weekend, this wonderful X-Men piece, which he did and posted on threads.net at the Grant Perkins. Yes, I would heartily recommend following his account, because not only is he a fun dude, but he also just puts out some incredible work. How on earth he's only got 320 odd followers is beyond me. Let's see if we can do something about that. Spread the word, please. So that's been my comic of the week. Well, that's been my social of the week. For yourself, let me know. What would you say has been your comic of the week? What has been the book that you've been reading? What's been catching your attention? I've been doing a bit of a Tom King deep dive because the Penguin, okay, doing my Benedict Cumberbatch impression there. Penguin, Dawn of DC. He did the issue 8 of that particular run, which has gotten very bloody indeed. Excellent run so far. So that is came out. So I kind of like did a Tom King deep dive, did that, and then went into One Bad Day, Riddler, then went into Rorschach. I've been reading Tom King this week. So yeah, Penguins, says Chuck Cook. Yeah, I know. At least I can actually recognize that I said it wrong. So yeah, I have one up on Benedict Cumberbatch. It's the only thing I have one up on. But yes, Penguins I can say. But there we go. Into the Blue Mister. Grant is always a presence at the Wales Comic Con. Lovely guy, isn't he just? And his wife as well. Eve is a character, and the pair of them really do complement themselves very well. Threads.net at the Grant Perkins. Do check that out. When it comes to socials as well, is there anybody that you would like to showcase? Is there anybody that you feel that you needs more eyeballs on? Doesn't have to be Threads. Could be any other social media. If it's going to be X, you're going to have to share me the screen caps because I'm not going back to that particular social media. But Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, is there a social media account that you feel deserves more eyeballs? An artist, an illustrator, filmmaker, creative of any field? Let me know. Drop us a line, of course. Put it in the comment below. And of course, if you like and subscribe, you'll see when we go live, and we'll try and showcase the people that you're talking about. Or indeed, you can contact me on all of the social medias if you search for An Englishman in San Diego or Englishman SDCC. And yeah, fingers crossed, we'll showcase somebody other than my choices. So who do you feel needs to have a few more eyeballs on them on the social medias? And of course, you can contact me at leonard@theconventioncollective.com on the old emails as well. Right. So there you go. That's our show. Thank you very much indeed to Dan for joining us. It's been great to see what WonderCon's been up to. Hope you've enjoyed that particular view in the Anaheim Convention Center. But yeah, let's keep it a nice tight hour today as we come up to 7 o'clock here in the UK. Have yourself the rest of a great Easter Sunday. To those who celebrate it, all the very best to you. And indeed, have yourself a lion tomorrow for Bank Holiday Monday. Yes, have yourself a great bank holiday weekend. I'll be back again next week. We've got ourselves a fantastic guest lined up next week, but I want to announce that. So it'll be probably going to be Tuesday when we get that up on the social medias. Follow me on Threads and on Blue Sky at Englishman SDCC. I'll do my best to get that news to you earlier than later. Great guest, and I think you'll be excited to see who we're going to be talking to. From me to you, enjoy your rest of your weekend. Easy does it with the eggs. Dial it back a bit. All right. Just stick to the handful of chocolate. Yeah. And yeah, we'll see you on the other side. I'll see you next Sunday on another Talkin Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. Take care.